I'm just starting the Linux. So any doubts yesterday's class? I guess you people able to set up the Linux environment in your local machine, right? Without any issues. Fine. So today we'll able to see rest of the commands in Linux environment. Then after that, so we'll see what is the shell scripting and some of the basic scripting programs, So after completing these environment related commands. So I have completed yesterday till exit command. So today we will be able to continue from this. So working with ls command. This. See, after you completing the installation, you will get the screen like this. You just click on username, provide the password. Provide the password. So yesterday we have seen terminal and all this. See, whenever you have done installation for first time, you'll get like this actually. So the moment you click on the computer, then you will get the file system, then click on the file system. So we have seen this complete file system hierarchy yesterday, right? So I just open the terminal here. Right. See, so this is coming down one level back. So what is the ls command here? See, ls command, so listing the files, without, see, ls means generally it has going to be listing the files in normally one after the other it has going to be listing. So it has going to be associated with the following options generally: man space ls. So it has going to be listing whatever it contains under the current directory, which is nothing but it has going to list the directory of the contents. ls hyphen a, which means everything in Linux ls space minus a. Linux is case sensitive, so you have to be provide like in lower case only. It's a case sensitive. Whenever it required, you can provide the uppercase, but it does not take, like if you provide something like that, it is a different option, right? It's a case sensitive, right? ls space. This is what generally how it is going to be listing the content of the directory under the current path. ls space hyphen l. So it has going to be listing the files in long list format like this. So ls space hyphen l, it has going to be listing all the files under the current directory in long list format. L means long list. See, here it is having the type of the files actually. See, some of the files which are going to be starts with a D, then some of the files which are going to starts with hyphen. So what is it? What are the types of files which are available in Linux? Then how you can come to know type of the file? See, there are following type of files which are available in the Linux. The first one, we know the file which is going to starts with the hyphen, so which is called regular file. Regular file. Whenever the file starts with a D, so hyphen D, you can call it as directory. You can call it as directory. Then like that, whenever the file which starts with the C, character special files, something like that, standard input and standard output and standard error. Then, so whenever the file starts with the B, which we can call it as block special files, which is nothing but something like that, blocks of hard disk, that which is going to indicate with hyphen B. Then FIFO files, which is nothing but how it is going to be communicating the process, two processes running on the same system. Like example, two processes which are running on the same system, then so that such kind of files which is going to be start with -p. So how it is going to be communicate between the two processes running on the different machine. Same machine means -p, running in a different machine means -s, -c, -p, then -v, then -l. -l means, so which is called symbolic links. Whenever it is going to be starts with -l, which means which is going to be indicates the links, which is nothing but what pointer to already existing file. Example, whenever the file starts with -l, which means so you can create the links based on the existing file. Example, here I have the file 1. Later we will able to see the practical. For time being, you can understand this type of the file. -l means file 1 which is already there. Based on the file 1, which you can able to create the another file, which is nothing but file 2. So this is what you are creating the link. So such kind of files which are going to start with -l. So these are the different files which are going to be supports in Linux environment. Then how you can come to know what type of file it is. What type of file it is? Either it may be a directory or regular file or text file or link files. Then how I can come to know? So here I have a command called file space type. You just provide name. Example, file space, like example, I can provide some directory name, sample. So it is going to be displaying directory. It is a directory that is going to be displayed. Let us go to here. See, these are the all directories only. See, whenever the file starts with the div, you can call it as directory. What I'm doing here, file space, downloads. It's a directory. Like that, you just provide file, then after that you can provide the file name. Either it may be a directory or text. If you don't know, you just provide, then it is going to be displaying type of the file. Either it may be a directory or regular file or Blackwell files or special character files or link files. All those types which is going to be displayed by using this file command. This is a file command, and these are the type of the files generally which are going to be support in the Linux. Like total 7 type of files. Regular files means which is going to be starts with the -, and directory files means which is going to be starts with the D. Character special files means which is going to be starts with the C, and block special files which is going to be starts with the B, and FIFO files which is going to be starts with the P, and socket files which means which is going to be communicate process. How the communication happen between the two processes, running on the different machine or different system, like over the network. So that is called, how it is going to be identify such kind of process. -s the file starts with, and symbolic link or symbolic file which can identify by using the -l. So this is about type of the files which are going to be support. Come down here, ls space -l. The moment I hit this option, then you will get here ls space -l means you will get here. These are called permissions generally. This is first type of the file which is going to be decide first word, first letter. Then these are called permissions. Now what kind of permissions contains that file or directory. Then next, username. Then group ID. This is what username. This is what group. So this directory which belongs to which group. Then the timestamp and the name of the file or directory. This is what generally which is going to display the moment whenever you get ls space -l. Then ls space -l or in other words T generally. T is nothing but what it is going to be displays based on the it is going to be sorts by modification time. T means it is going to be sorts the modification time, which means so last which file you accessed last generally, desktop directory, right? See, by default it is going to be displaying in Linux ascending order. Whenever you want to display in descending order, ls space -ltr. See, it is going to be displaying in descending order. So which means in reverse order. R means reverse order. Without R means it will display in ascending order. So just ls space hyphen ltr means L means it has going to be displaying in a long list format, T means it has going to be sorts based on the timestamp modification will display, then R means it has going to be display in a reverse order, because by default 10x which will display in a ascending order. The moment you add in the option R means it will display in a reverse order, right? You can go with different options also. This space hyphen lr, but space should be mandatory. It should be like this. So this is ls space hyphen ltr. Then next ls space minus a or hyphen a, which means what happened, there are some hidden files which are available, right? So hidden files, ls space minus a. A means all. It will display both hidden and as well as the non-hidden files. How you can come to know hidden files or hidden directory? Those are, see, note, whenever the file or directory starts with dot, which is called hidden file or hidden directory, right? The file or directory which is going to starts with the dot, which you can call it as hidden file or hidden directory. Example, sample. So this is called hidden file. If it's a file name, it's a file. If it's a directory name, it is a hidden directory. Understood? How I can list all those files in the current directory? Go to over there here, ls space minus a. See, whenever the file starts with the dot, these are all called hidden files. By default, it does not display. See, whenever you use this command, then which is going to be displaying hidden files and hidden directories, including non-hidden files also, which means all files it has going to be displaying. So whenever the file or directory which is going to starts with the dot, which we can call it as hidden file or hidden directory. So in this way, you can able to remember, you can able to recognize the hidden file or hidden directory. Generally, directories which are going to be identified in blue color. Directories generally which are going to be identified in the color called blue color. These are all called directories generally. So black color means normal regular files generally. This is about ls space minus a command. Then after that, so ls space hyphen I. See, whenever you create any file or any directory in the Linux, so whenever you create same with the same name again, like example, I have created some directory called example directory, then which is going to be stored, which is going to be created, and same directory again I am creating. How come to know which is already exist? That is based on the inode number. Based on the inode number. How you can able to display the inode number? So what is the inode number? Then how you can able to display? Inode number, which is nothing but what? It's a unique number which is associated with each file name or directory name. Uniquely which is going to be identifying, and based on that which you can able to list the files and directories. Go to here, let us see. See, ls space hyphen l or ll, both are same, will give the same output. ls space hyphen li. See, every file or directory which is going to be associated with unique inode number. Based on this, generally it is going to be displayed. Whenever you are creating the same directory or file again, so by using this index number or inode number, it is the file or the directory which already exist. This is about ls space hyphen I. Then after that, see, I want to know the size of the file. I want to know the size of the file. The size of the file. What is the size of the file? Right? The size of the file I want to know. Right? Under the current directory, each file or each directory, how much size which indicates in it, how much size it contains. ls space hyphen s. See, ls space hyphen s ltr. See, it is going to be containing 444. But I want to display in a human readable format, which is not readable, right? So I can enter H. It will display in a human readable format. 4 KB, 4 KB, 4 KB, right? So this is how you can able to display the size of each file and directory under the current directory. Then I want to sort. I want to sort based on the size, which means which size having the more, which file having the more size, that file will display here. Then next size file, and next size file. So that will display like that. Then how you can able to do that one? Capital S. Capital S means, so it has going to be sorts the file based on its size. Sort by the file size. So go to here, enter. See, based on the size it is going to display. So you will get actually difference actually whenever you have real files and directories. Which file having the more and which file does not having the more, that it is going to be displaying. So I'm just opening other operating system. So this is how generally which you can able to list the or sorts based on the file size. Then ls space -t, which you have seen already, it has going to be sorts by the modification time. See, ls space -r, which means it has going to list the subdirectories recursively. In the sense, inside directory you may have the subdirectories, right? All the subdirectories it has going to be listed. ls space -edu means it will display the lost access time. ls space -d, it will display the directories. ls space -f, it will display the files. ls space -a, it has going to display the inode number. Just go to over there, let's see the practical. ls space -u, see, lost access time, it has going to be list here based on the lost access time. ls space see here -u, then after that r, which means it has going to display in the directories inside subdirectories. See, it will display inside directory which contains Linux command. Under the desktop which contains one subdirectory called Linux command. Like that, all the subdirectories, so many subdirectories which contains, so under this main directory, it will display recursively all those subdirectories. So that's what ls space -r. So ls space -d. So it will display ls space -f. So it will display all the files only, right? It will display only files. Then ls space -, it will display the directories only. So this is about the ls command. How you are going to be listing the files based on the size. How you are going to be sort based on the size. Then how you are going to be sort, based on the timestamp modification. How you are going to be displaying the directories inside the subdirectories. All you have seen. So how you can able to list the only files and only directories. This is another command. See, there are, go to here, I want to display only directories. ls space -d under the desktop. See, it will display only one directory under this. Under this which contain only one directory called Linux commands. Then what I have to do here, how I can able to display only the files. Only files, how it will display. Go to here, this is what command. See, there is no files which are available. Everything, all directories only. Every file which is a directory only here. How I can say, instead of that we can see it will display only directories it is going to be displaying. Then -, means only files which are going to be displaying. So it's a very important question. How to display only files, how to display only directories. These two are the commands using with ls command. Then after completing working with the ls command, I'm just moving with other command called environment related commands. See, in Windows, whenever you want to know the computer name or host name, how you can able to do, you just go to the my computer, right click on my computer and go to the properties, then you will get the computer name. Then after that, so what is all the information about the machine, like type of the operating system, then so version and everything which is going to be displaying, right? But here which is different actually. To come to know the name of the host name, here we have a command called host name. So whenever you type the host name, so you will get the default host name. Host name -d, which means it has going to be displace, name of the DNS domain. Host namespace -i, it will display the default, loopbacks. Log name, by using which username you logged into the Linux machine. So that it is going to display. I'll just go to over there here. The first one, host name. Host name. See, this is what default host name. Host name -d. So it is going to be displaying DNS names which are associated with this host name. There is no DNS names which are associated. Host name -i. This is what default IP address. So which is associated. This is the default IP address, which will display by using this host name -i. And this is about how you can come to know environment. Log name means, so by using which username you are logged into the Linux system, it will display. Who am I? Log name, both are same. Go to here. Who am I? Who am I? See, by using which user you log into the Linux system, then log name will display the same result. So next here we have that how you can come to know server information. Like, see, in Linux, very important concept called kernel. So what is a kernel? Then how you can come to know the kernel version. See, kernel is nothing but it's a kernel is nothing but it is a core of the operating system, right? It is a heart of the Linux operating. It is a heart of the Linux operating system. What it has going to do in kernel it has going to be interacting with, with user commands with hardware devices. It has providing the interface in between the user and as well as the hardware devices. So that's what generally you can call it as kernel. So how you can come to know the kernel version, then and as well as what type of hardware it is. Either it may be a 32-bit or 64-bit operating system. That's a very important interview question. U namespace -a means it will display the system information, type of the operating system, kernel version, and hardware type. Then timestamp it is going to display. Uname -r means it will display only the kernel version. U namespace -m means it will display only hardware type. Either it may be a 32-bit or 64-bit. If it is a 32-bit, it will give the following output: high 686, and if it is a 64-bit, cross 86_64. So if it is a 64-bit, it will display this output. If it is a 32-bit, it will display this output. Then go to then let's see how you can able to check, how you can able to execute those commands. And before executing those commands, how you can able to come to know the Linux version. Linux version. These are the two commands generally to know about the Linux version. cat space etc/red hat release or cat space etc/issue. Using any one of the command, you can come to know the version of the Linux, which version you are using currently. See how much memory is there in your machine. Then what CPUs, like how many CPUs, like CPU related information, everything, what kind of CPU type or something like that, your CPU model, like i3 or i4, i3 or i5, what's your CPU processor type. So to know all these things, here we have the separate commands. Meminfo, which displays the memory related information. CPU info, it will display the CPU related information. Just log into here. Uname -a. See, it will display. This is what username, this is what host name, this is the kernel version, and this is the timestamp generally, and this is architecture. So i686, I told you 32-bit. Let us we see. I want to display only the kernel version. It will display the kernel version. I want to display only hardware type. Either it may be 32-bit or 64-bit. This is 32-bit operating system. If it is a 64-bit, cross 86_64. It will give that output. Then after completing that, I want to display, so operating system version generally, cat space / etc/red hat -release. See 6.4. Okay, 6.5, Linux server 6.5. Then cat space slash etc slash issue. This is another command to get the Linux version. Right? How you can come to? I want to know memory related information. Cat space slash proc slash mem info. See, so what is the total memory and how much memory free, how much buffer, how much swap, how much inactive, complete memory related information which will display by using this command. Then how you can able to display the CPU related information. Cat space slash proc slash CPU info. See, what is the model name? Intel i3, something like that, So model, that is processor speed, how many processor which are configured, everything which is displays about the processor and as well as CPU. It has going to displaying information about the CPU, like what type of model you are using, model name, how many CPUs you are configured, what are the core, how many core processors which was there, everything which is going to be displayed. So by using this command, one important interview question you will get. So how to know number of core processors which are running in the Linux? So see here, there are 2 core processors running. By using this command, you can come to know. This is about how you can come to know environment related, information using this environment related commands. So after completing that, I'm just moving with the who command generally. So what is a who command? Then how you can able to work with the who command? See, who command are users, both are give the same output. Both commands will give the same output. To know the list of users logged into the Linux system. Who space -a means all. A means all, it has going to display. Who space -d means it has going to print the dead processes. In Linux, if any process dead, so whenever you give this command who space -d, it will give the, or it will display the only dead processor. If it does not have any dead processes, you won't get any output. Who space -q. See, this command will give the, or will display the following output, something like that. How many users logged into the Linux machine? The count, like 4 or 5 or 6 users. The count of users which are logged into the Linux machine, it has been displayed by using this who space -q. Who space -r, it has going to display the current run level. At the current run level. What is the run level? We'll come to know next command. For timing, you can understand how it is going to be displaying the current run level. Who space -u, it has going to be list the users, logged in users. Who space -d means, like example, I just logged in. I want to know when it is going to be restart the machine. Last reboot time I want to know. So that time you just provide the command called who space -d. This is only will display last reboot or restart time only. But I want to display, so all reboot times, last reboot. So it will display all reboot times. So just go to over here, who space enter. See, there are 2 users which are logged in. One is this terminal. The one is normally you are logged into this Linux, and second one is this terminal. This is terminal, and this is how you are logged into the Linux machine. 2 users are logged into the Linux machine. Then users, see, 2 who space same thing only. See, last TT1 and PTS. And then those are previous. You just type the terminal name, TTT, PTS, these 2. Then who space -d. If it is there any dead processes, it has going to display. There is no dead processes. Who space -r. So to print the current run level, there are 2 commands which are available. One is who space -r, otherwise run level. So what is the default run level? Run level 5. So you will come to know what is the run level with the next command only. Then using those commands you can come to know what is the current or default run level. Then after that, who space -u, and who space -v. Who space -u, it will display the users which are logged into the Linux system. Who space -v. See, just now restart, booted, system boot last time only. It has gone to displaying the last system reboot time. Then I want to display how many times I have restarted our system boot times. What is the command? Last space reboot. It will display all the reboot times in ascending order. See, Friday, yesterday which I have created, then see today, Saturday, including the timings it has going to be displaying here, 8:35 and 9:23, right? So then, so this is how you are going to be displaying the all reboot times about the Linux machine. So then after completing this, I'm just moving into the other command called, how to execute the multiple commands at the same time in Linux. See, normally you cannot execute more than one command at the same time here. Example, who ls. See what happened it is? Command cannot found. But what is the syntax? Command 1 semicolon, command 2 semicolon, command 3 semicolon. Like that, how many commands you want to execute at the same time, you can provide like this by specifying the semicolon. Say example, let us see pwd semicolon, who semicolon, ls semicolon, and if you can enter another command also. How to execute more than one command at the same time, at Linux prompt. This is the syntax. See, this is what pwx, pwd is what displaying about the who command, is what listing the files. Understood how to execute the multiple commands at the same time, at Linux prompt. By default, which you cannot able to execute, by going through this syntax, you can execute multiple commands at the same time. So then next, run levels generally. What is run level? Then what type of run levels which are available, and what is the default run level? Just now we have seen, right? What is the run level? See, if you have any idea about the service, Windows service. So Windows service, which is similar like that, which is similar run level also in Windows services. Same in Linux also, run levels. So what is run level generally? Whenever you define what process or service, or in other words, define what process or service to run automatically whenever you boot the Linux operating system. Example, I am just starting the Linux machine, right? Automatically, whenever you start the Linux operating system, whenever you define or process of services in run level, those automatically which is going to be start without starting. Then whenever you are shutting down the Linux operating system, automatically which is going to be shutting down those processor or services which are called run level. Example in Windows services. So in the services generally what will happen? These are all called default services. Automatically which is going to run these services. See. And whenever you stop the operating system, automatically which is going to stops those processes, which is called in Linux run level, whereas in Windows which is called Windows service. So that is what generally which you can call it as run level. So what is the parent run level here? So under this you will get all the run levels generally. Then how you can come to know type of the run level generally? All the run levels which you can able to define under this etc/init tab. How you can come to know the current run level or default run level? Use space -r and run level command. Default run level is 5. So let us see run level types here. Run level types. There are following types here. We have following run level types. So just log into this Linux machine. So vi space. For just listing actually, tar space /etc/init tab. See, default run level or the run levels which are used 0 to 6, which means total 7 run levels which are available. What is the default run level here? 5. So you can replace with any run level with 5. But first you can come to know what is 0 to 6 run levels, type of the run levels. Let's see. all those run level are run level types. Run level 1, which is nothing but what, all these run level commands which you can able to execute under the administrative prompt or root prompt only. So first one, hash init 0 to halt or shutting down the Linux machine. Shut down the system. To halt or shutting down the system Linux machine. Then run level 1 init space 1. So system starts into the single user mode. Just like this, single user mode. Init 2. System starts into the multi-user mode. Multi-user multitasking. Multi-user mode. So, whenever you are working using the PuTTY, so that is what generally you can call it as run level 3. Hash init 3. Which means system starts into the multi-user mode with networking support. So whenever you working using from the PuTTY, which is nothing but init 3 only, in the sense run level 3 only, which means it has going to support the multi-user and multitasking, including the networking support. Then init 4. So earlier which is used for custom run levels, but currently which does not use, which is nothing but undefined run level. Undefined run level. Then init 5. So this is what default run level, right? Init 5. Init 5 means system starts up into the multi-user mode with networking support, including the GUI based desktop, just like Windows. GUI based desktop support. So that's why current run level 5. Example C use space icon means 5, which means it supports multi-user multitasking with networking support, including the GUI based desktop support. Then 7. So what is this under the 7 generally? Unit 6 means what we can able to do using the unit 6. Unit 6 hash. So which is used for restarting or rebooting the Linux machine. Reboot the Linux machine. Right. Let's get back to the practical. One by one we will be able to see. To change the default run level, go to this parent run level and you can change under this. How you can able to execute, go to over there. How to switch one user to other user, yesterday we have seen using the command called su space username and password. Enter the password. If you enter the right password, then it is going to log into the root or system administrative prompt. The first command you can execute init space 0. I told you which is used for shutting down the Linux operating system. Whenever you issue this command, automatically which is going to be shutting down the Linux machine. Then next, I just click run, power on, it is going to be again starting. Unit 1 means it is going to start with the single user mode, just like DOS prompt. So whenever you go to the Linux here, start button and cmd you type. So this is just like single user mode. In the sense, we can only one user can work at the same time. Single user mode and multitasking. Go to over here. Right. Click on the username, provide the password. So switch to the root user, then execute the remaining root commands. Use paid root and provide the password. Init 1. So it shifts to the single user mode. See, screen will be like this only. There is no GUI based desktop and all those. Everything which you can able to access and you can able to work like this. So like how you can come to know which is in a single user mode or not, two space hyphen R. See, system level 1. Otherwise, run level. See, you are now in run level 1. So then next we shifting into the run level 2, which means multi-user mode. It has going to support multi-user and multitasking. Like enter the username and enter the password. See, run level. Now I am under the run level 2. Then run level 3 means it support the system starts up into the multi-user mode with networking support. So I am shifting into the again switching into the root user. So unit space 3. Because whenever you are run some scripts automatically when you run the operating system, so using these run levels only which you can able to run scripts automatically whenever you run the operating system and whenever you stop the operating system automatically which is going to be shutting down. See, run level unit 3. Then next unit 4 undefined. Unit 5 means it brings to the normal or default run level. So enter the username and password. So it will display like this. And unit 6 means restarting or rebooting the Linux machine. So to the root user and we can enter unit 6. So it is going to be restarting the Linux machine. This is about the run level and types of the run levels which are available in the Linux. And in the real time, most of the cases will go with this run level. In the sense, most of the time you can work using from the party. In the sense, system starts up into the multi-user mode with networking support. So this is about the run levels. So once I have complete the run levels, I just moving into the a command called last command. So last is a command which is used to know let us I will tell you about this last command, very important, the last command. See, to know who are execute actually when which user there are a number of users logged into the Linux machine, right? Then who are logged in, when they are going to be logged in and what kind of activities they are going to be executed. You can come to know by using the last command. It's a very important command actually. You can come to know what are the activities will do by somebody, but so they won't accept it, right? In real time. So no, I didn't do. But by using the last command, you can come to know. So what are the activities will do by the specific users. Last, enter. See, Linux user, only Linux user only which is logged in. So other users, other user which does not logged in. Saturday, right? So it is going to display what we have done actually. Reboot, then down, then all activities it will display. So what kind of process which I have run, just now we have restarted. Then everything which is going to be displaying actually. That is about the last command, man space last. You want to know, you can come to know. It is going to be listing of last logged in users who are logged into the Linux machine. and what they are executed, including the commands it is going to be displayed. That is about the last command. See, when in Linux generally, what happened? You can protect the commands. Something like that, somebody can log into the Linux machine, and if they know the commands, they can execute. But whenever you can create the aliases to the original, whenever you create the aliases to the commands, which is difficult to know the commands. What is alias? Then now you can able to create the alias generally. Alias is nothing but what? It is a shortcut. In other words, no, whenever you want to create the shortcut, or it is an alternative name to the another command. So alias name space command. This is the syntax generally. So I'm just creating one alias name ls space hyphen ltr. Just go to over there with list C ltr. I'm creating the alias name for this instead of executing this. So I'm creating alias name for this list. See, list. See, ls space minus ltr. It will display the same thing. List. See. So alias is nothing but this is a command which you can able to create the alternative name, or you can able to create the shortcut to your original command. This is the syntax, and you can create the alias to any command. Okay, even you can create some path, generally something like that. Every day you are logged into the some path. So why you are going to be typing from starting to till end? You just create one alias, then cd space home. It will go to the directly that path only. So that is advantage of the aliases. By using the alias, you can protect the environment. So whenever the experience will grow, so aliases, to create the aliases and automate the environment, which is important. That's why alias command is very important. Then who am I, which is I already completed, to know information about username which is currently logged in. Then coming to now working with the files and directories. Working with the files and directories. Files and directories. Right. So what is a file? Then what's a directory? We have seen already, right? What is a file? File is nothing but what it will store the data, required data in the given name. So how you can able to create the file? Then what are the types or what are the ways you have to create the file? Files. Ways to, very important interview question. Ways to create the file. Create the file. Create the files. There are three ways you will have. One is using cat command. Second one using touch command, and third one using vi editor. So using these three ways which you can able to create the files. So first one using the cat command, using the touch command, and using the vi editor. So let's see how to create a file using the cat command. So here you have the syntaxes. So cat is a command which is used to create the file and append the file, and which you can append the file. Then you can combine more than one file into the one or two files into the single file. So what you cannot able to do using the cat command, you can view, you can display, it can create, it can append. It is going to be combining two or more files into the single file, but only one thing which you cannot able to edit the specific content in the file. So whenever you want to replace complete file, it is going to be replaced. So that is about the cat command. So what is the syntax for creating the cat command? Cat greater than file name. So press enter, then enter the data. Press Ctrl D for save and exit. How to display the file? Cat space file name or cat less than file name to display the content of the file. Then how to display more than one file at the same time? Cat space file 1, file 2, file 3. Then another disadvantage using the cat command, you cannot create more than one file at the same time. You can create only one file at the same time. So how you can able to create the hidden file cat space greater than dot file name. Whenever the file name starts with the dot, which can call it as hidden file, right? Then you can create. Then how you can append the normal file cat greater than and existing file name and append the data. If it is a hidden file, dot file name. Then I want to give a numbers to the existing file. How many lines which contains in the file? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So cat space hyphen n. Let's we see all the practical regarding the cat command. So go to here. Right. Cat greater than sample. So this is the sample file. Right. Press Ctrl D to save and exit. You can type how much information you need. See, less space I created. Yeah, just now I created. It's a normal file. So how you can able to use cat space sample. This is one cat space less than sample. This is another way of displaying or view the content of the file. Right. So cat space greater than new file. So I'm just creating another file again. This is the new file. Press Ctrl. So how to display more than one file at the same time? Sample, then sample, then a new file. So it will display like this: sample, new file. So it is going to be how it will display sam and new file. So first it is going to display the sample file, later it is going to display the new file. So this is how it is going to be displaying the new file. This is how it is going to be displaying the new file. The next, next how you are going to be appending the existing file. I'm just appending the existing file. See here how I am appending the existing file class greater than new file. Existing file, press Ctrl D. See cat space new file. So I am updating the existing file. Then next, how to create the hidden file? Cat greater than dot h file. Hidden file name you can do whatever it is. This is the hidden file. Right. Press Ctrl D. So it won't display here. Whenever you use hidden space admin, it lists like this. Then how to view cat space dot h file. So it has going to display. Then how to open the hidden file? Cat greater than dot h file. Press enter. And file, press Ctrl D. So cat space dot h file. See, like this fashion you can create the file and you can append the file. Next, what I need to do, how to create or how to combine or how to one or more files into the single file, how to merge actually. Cat new file and sample file and greater than into merge file. Merge file. See, cat merge file. So whatever it contains in two files, so it has going to merge into the single file. Then how to give a numbers generally? How to give a numbers generally? How to give a numbers? So cat space hyphen n cat space hyphen n space file name. Like example, merge file. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this way generally which you can able to work with the cat command. Next, rm command. Rm command which is used to remove the files generally. It's used to remove the files. rm space file, which is going to be displaying the regular file, removing the regular file. Rm space hyphen rf. So forcibly it is going to be removing file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, file 5. How many files you want, you can remove at the same time. Okay, file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4 and file 5. So all these files which you can able to remove at the same time. So let's go to over there here. So how to remove the file? So I want to give the indication before I am removing. Rm space hyphen rf, so that I space merge file. See, remove the regular file. The moment you click on Y, it is going to be removing the file. Else, the moment you click on N, it won't remove. It will be remaining same. See? Then if you press Y, it is going to be deleted. See? New file and sample file. In this fashion, you can able to remove the files using the rm command. This is one method which I have completed using the cat command, how you can able to create the files, and using the touch command generally. See, very important interview question. So what is the touch command generally? So how you can able to create more than one file using the touch command. Touch is the command which you can able to create more than one file at the same time, but those are 0-byte files. Those are 0-byte files which does not contain anything in those files. Using the cat command again, you can append the data into those files. That is one responsibility. Second responsibility, how to change the file timestamp. Example, I want to change file timestamp, ls space -npr. So this is some file timestamp here, right? These timestamps too you can change to your own timestamp. So that it would be possible by using the touch command. First we'll able to see touch space file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4, file 5. How many files you want you can create? There is no limit. File 6, file 7, enter. See, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, all files which are created, but those are 0-byte files, which does not contain anything here. See, but interview question, how to create multiple files at the same time? So using the touch command, generally you can able to create the multiple files. After that, so another one is what? How to change the file timestamp generally using the touch command. So let us we see touch space -t. T means you can change the timestamp. See here, this is the command. First you can change the year 2016, then you can change then 03 instead of that 07 and next month, and time whatever it is created. See, for ls space -ltr, ls space -ltr. So for file 2, where it is, see, June 15, which is going to be changed, right? July 15, 2016. So this is how you are going to be, changing the type of the file system, changing the timestamp of the file, not file system, changing the timestamp of the file. It's nothing but using the touch command, you can create more than one file at the same time, but those are 0-byte files, and simultaneously you can able to update the access and modification time of each file to the correct time. So these two responsibilities which you can able to do by using the touch command. Then next, the third method, how you can able to create the VA editor. What is VA editor? Then how you can able to create the files using the VA editor. See, most of the cases in real time using the cat command, which is used to create, which is used to view or display the files most of the time, but by using the cat command, which you cannot able to replace the old content or old string with new string, and some of the options which you cannot able to do using the cat command. But using the VA editor, you can execute, you can do whatever the option you want. VA is nothing but it's a visual editor. So what you can able to do by using the VA editor, so it has providing, you can insert them, it has going to be enabled to insert the new text, then modify the old text with new text, and you can append new text with existing text. Then you can delete in between, like you have the 100 lines, you can delete between lines. Then everything which you can able to do using the VA editor. Every Linux machine, or so most of the command line or command based operating systems certainly, which is going to support the VA editor. So generally VA editors, VA space file name. Then in this here we have the following modes of operations. Like there are three modes of operations: command mode, insert mode, and as well as EX command mode. Command mode, which is nothing but VA space file name. Whenever you open, there is what default command mode, which you cannot able to execute, which you cannot able to insert any data there. You just execute the commands, Linux commands. That's what default mode is. Command mode whenever you open the file. So the moment you click on the I, which is nothing but which changes command mode to insert mode. So which permits insertion of the new text, editing of the existing text, and replacement of the existing text. Then whenever you press the escape, you just come out from insert mode to EX command mode. Here you can save and exit. Then you can give the numbers, like you just go to over there here. What we can able to do here, how to save the file. WQ, save and quit. WQ means quit without saving. WQ and exclamatory mark, save and quit forcibly. So WQ save and quit, save and quit forcibly. So these are the various ways for saving and quitting. Saving and quitting, so which is called file saving. So it is going to be saving. Then after that, how you can able to give the numbers to the file. First we'll able to how to delete. Working with the deleting the text actually. So DW, which means how it is going to be deleting the word. N means number of words. DD means entire line. Example cursor which is available. The entire line which is going to be deleted the moment you click on the DD. Then DD space press the number. Example cursor which is there right here. And if you press Y, from cursor point it is going to be deleting the 5 lines. This is how you are going to be deleting the text in VA editor. And copying and pasting. Like example cursor which is there right here. Press YY and 5 or 4. It is going to be copying from the to 4 lines. And for pasting P, you can paste the anchored lines. This is how you are going to be copying and pasting. Now this is for saving. Colon W save and continue. Q stop without saving. WQ and colon, WQ and exclamation mark, save and quit forcibly. Set NU means you can set the numbers for your file. Set no NU means you can remove the numbers. And see, in the files I have 100 files. Then I want to delete 50 to 60 only. Middle lines, starting number and ending number. So it is going to be deleted in the middle lines only. And exact line I want to delete, like number and D. You can delete the exact line. Then very important interview question, how to replace old string with new string in VA editor. Percentage S, which means from the starting of the file old string. Then it is going to search and it is going to be replaced with the new string. G means like in the file how many times it is going to be occurrence, that many times it is going to be replaces. Without G means only first time it is going to be replaced and come out. But using this syntax generally, it is going to be replaced number of times, like how many times it is going to be occur, repeat in the file, that many times it is going to be replaced. Let's see. Right. VA space example file, enter. So this is what command mode. I'm just entering I, insert. This file created by using are created using the creator, any information just for editor. Like that, you can create depends on the requirement and you can write the programs and whatever it is. Press escape, W colon, save and continue, colon WQ, save and quit. See, colon WQ and exclamatory mark, save and quit forcefully. I just create a file using the VI editor. Any file you can view, VI space sample file also. You can view using this, otherwise VI space example file. Then what I have to do now, YY6 times I want to copy, P, C, then you can copy and paste. Then I want to delete exactly one line, DD. See, it is going to delete exactly one line. So press escape generally, delete one line exactly. Right. This is how you are going to be copying and pasting and deleting the, deleting the data in VI editor. I want to set the numbers. Set colon set NU. See, colon set no NU. See. So I want to delete middle lines actually. 5 to 10 lines I want to delete. 5, 10 D. See, I want to delete exactly 12 line. See. The next, how to replace old string with new string. It's a very important interview question. Percentage S slash file my file slash G. And how many times it is going to be occur in the file, that many times it is going to be replaced. See, file with my file, right? See, again you want to get the my file too. See, this is how generally which are going to be creating, which are going to be replacing old string with new string. This is how you are going to be working with the VI editor. So these are the three ways generally which you can able to create the file. Right, understood, right? How to create the file using the three ways. One is using the command mode, one is using the cat command, second one using the touch command, third one using the VI editor. So these are the ways generally which you can able to create create the file. This is how you are going to be working the file. Next, how to working with the directories, which means how to create the directory, like something like that. Before you are working with the directories, we need to know about two paths generally here. What is absolute path and what is a relative path? Absolute path means it's a path from root directory to target directory. Then relative path means wherever you are doesn't matter. It's a path from current path to target directory. So that is what generally you can call it a relative path and absolute path. How to create the directory? Here we have a command called makedir. By using this generally you can able to create makedir space directory. You can create the directory. Then makedir space directory 1, directory 2, directory 3. You can create more than one directory at the same time. How to create hidden directory? Makedir space dot space name. You can create the hidden directory. Then very important question, how to create directory inside a directory. In other words, subdirectory. Make dir space -p, directory 1 slash directory 2 slash, then you can create a directory inside a directory. P means parent directory. How you can list all the subdirectories -r recursively, it is going to be displaying all the directories. Then how to delete or how to delete the directories. rm space -r directory 1. See, if you delete rm space directory name means it won't delete, because directory which contains another directory, right, which means subdirectory. So that's why R is mandatory whenever you are deleting the directories, because or means recursively. First it has going to be deleting the child directories, later it has going to be deleting the parent directories. Let's go to over there, see here. Let's get back to practical. Make the AR space. Now directory name called WebLogic. So I have created one directory called WebLogic. So into the AR space, you can create D1, D2, D3. I'm creating more than one directory at the same time. I just created more than one directory at the same time. Then now to create hidden directory space HDAR. See, it does not display here, list here. See, HDAR. Right, this is how you can create the hidden directory. How to create the directory inside a directory? mkdir space hyphen P D1, SD1 means subdirectory, slash SD2 slash SD3 slash SD4. The next SD5, the next slash SD6. See, SD1, SD2 which are creating at the same level, which are created at the same level. Then SD4, SD3 is a parent, SD3, SD2 is a parent, SD2, SD1 is the parent. This enter. See, which is greater, SD1 and SD5. Ls space hyphen R SD1. It will display all the directories. Inside directories also recursively. So this is how you are going to be creating the subdirectories. Then next, how to remove the directories. rm space D1. See, you cannot remove the directories like this. rm space hyphen R. R means recursively, F means forcefully. So D5. So this time it won't, use any error, which is going to be deleted successfully. Then, if you want, you can delete more than one directory at the same time. D6, D7, D8, D9. Like, more than one directory you can delete at the same time. This is how you are going to be working with the directories. Then how to copy and how to move. See, copying is nothing but what you can copy from one source to another destination. It's nothing but what you can copy the files actually. Move means you can move the file one place to other place, both files and directories, and as well as you can rename the files and directories using the mv command. Right, what is the syntax for copying? cp space options, which means directory or file you are going to be copying. Then path, source path and destination path where you want to copy. So whenever you want to copy the directories, -r is mandatory because initially it is going to be copying the subdirectories, later it is going to be copying the parent directories. This is what for normal files. This is how you are going to be copying the directories. mv command is used to rename or move the files or directories. For renaming old file name with new file name, and for moving mv space options, source and destination path. Let's go to over there here. First cpls cp space sample file where I want to copy this one, home Linux desktop commands WebLogic directory. So go to the WebLogic directory and check it, which is copied. Cat space sample. So this is how you are going to be copying the file. Then how you are going to be copying the directory. cp space hyphen R SD1 and destination path. Then so under this path I'll copy. If it does not provide -r, it is going to get the error. It will get the error actually. Example is D5. If it does not specify -r, see omitting directory, it won't copy. If you will provide the -r, then only it is going to be copying the directories. Go to the WebLogic and check it out. See, it is going to be copying the directories also. Then what is the mv command generally? So using the mv command, you can rename the files and directories. First, how you can able to rename the file? MV space example file to my file. See, this is renamed example file to my file. Then how to rename the directory? MV space sd1 to my dir. These are going to be renamed. See, there is no sd1. Then I want to move my file to some path, which means after moving, which does not available this path under the current path. Permanently it is going to be moved. Desktop and the Linux commands and WebLogic. See, there is no file called my file. Go to the destination path and check it, which is available here. So in this fashion, even you can move the directories also. This is how you are going to be working with, MV command and CP command. So links. So what is a links? Very important entry question actually. Link is nothing but what, something like that. Based on the existing file, you are going to be creating the file. Example, do you have any idea about shortcuts in Windows? So you are going to be creating the shortcuts, on the desktop, right? In the Windows generally. So what happened here? The moment you create the shortcuts, so which is all generally which does not have anything here. So whenever you create the shortcuts, which means you are going to be creating the shortcut here based on the existing file, right? So similarly like that, even in Linux also, so you can create a link based on the existing file, which is called links. You can call the link function to create a link to a file based on the existing file. Example, link file 1 and file 2. File 1 is the existing file and file 2 you can create based on the file 1. So there are two types of links which are available, soft links and hard links. So soft links means whenever you delete the parent file, child file automatically which does not exist. Which means whenever you delete the file 1, file 2 does not exist automatically, which is going to be deletes. So why it is going to be deletes? Because file 1 and file 2 which is going to be created based on the file 1, right, which does not require additional memory for storing the file 2, which is going to store on the parent file or file 1 memory only. So which means which does not require additional memory. So that's why whenever you delete the parent file, automatically which is going to delete the child file also. So to overcome that issue, they came with a solution called hard link. This is the syntax for creating the soft links. ln space -s space existing file space new file name. Hard link means whenever you delete the parent file, still child file exists. Whenever you delete the child file and parent file, you can able to access, vice versa. Then what is the syntax? ln space file 1 and file 2. So what is the disadvantage in this? How much memory which is required for storing the parent file? Equal memory which is required for storing the even child file also. Both are stored separately. That's why whenever you delete the child file, you are able to access the parent, and when you delete the parent, still you can able to access the child also. So once you create the links, how you can able to unlink space link name for unlinking, in the sense to remove the link. As we see how to create the links. So I don't have any file here. First I can create some file, cat space greater than yes link. This is what my file name actually, otherwise it's file 1. So this is the soft link program. Press Ctrl D. So based on the existing file, I'm going to be creating. Okay, observe here. ln space -s. This is the syntax. File 1. Based on this, I'm creating the file 2. See, cat space file 1, file 2. See, ls space -lpr. Both are stored in a same file, which does not require additional memory. So I want to append in parent file or child file. So which is going to be append in both files. Cat greater than file 2. Updating the soft link child file or file 2. Press Ctrl D. See. So in both file it is going to be in both files it is going to be reflected. This is about how you are going to be configuring the soft links. I am going to be removing the parent file. You cannot able to access the child file here. See, still it is exists the name, but you cannot able to access the child file. Coming to the hard links, I am just creating one file. File 3 is the parent file. This is the hard link program. Press enter control V. Then cap space file 3, right? See. Then syntax ln space file 3. Here -s which is not required because it is not a symbolic link or soft link, which we are going to be creating the hard link now. File 4 I just created. Cap space file 3 space file 4. See, so I'm just appending in parent file 3, updating in the odd link parent file or odd link file 3. Press Ctrl. Then you can see this is going to be reflected in both files. I am removing now parent file. Still you can able to access the child file. See, this is about the link functions. ls space -ltr. Whenever the file starts with the L, which you can call it as link files or symbolic link. This is another type of the file. So before working with the permissions, we will go with the other commands called, how you can able to working with shutting down commands. What are the commands to shut down the Linux machine? So here you have the different commands to setting down. So the first one, so init 0. So init 0 means generally from the root. This is one command to shut down the Linux machine. And $alt shut down the Linux machine from the normal user. And 3 shut down -r now. Immediately we are going to be setting down. So these are the different there are 3 ways generally which you can able to shutting down the Linux machine, including the following command. For this is also you can execute under the normal user only. Yes, power off. So these are the 4 ways which you can able to shutting down the Linux machine: shutdown commands and restart commands or reboot commands. Right, shutdown commands and reboot commands. So command 1 first, #init 6, so which is used to restart or reboot the Linux machine. And second command from the root only, #shutdown, this is what -h plus 10 minutes, which means after 10 minutes you will schedule the shutting down. Alright, after 10 minutes which is going to shutting down. Shutdown @r means restart actually. -r now immediately it is going to restart. Then normally from the normal user reboot, it is going to restart the Linux machine. This is about shutdown commands, or these are the reboot or restart commands about the Linux machine. So then next, how you are going to be creating the user, and as well as how you are going to be user add. So you can create the user and pass wd, which you can create the password. User mod, which you can able to modify the existing user. Group mod, you can modify the group. User del space username, you can delete the user. Group del space group name, you can delete the group name. So these are the user related commands. Let's see how to create the user here. So for creating the user, you can shift to the root like su space so demo user. So I'm creating one user here, sorry. user add space username, space username. I just created one user. So where it has going to store by default under the home directory /home. See, I just created one user. Then how to add password? PASS pass WD space demo user. Then password you can type it. Whatever the password you can type it here. Type. See, all authentication token updated successfully. See, SQ space demo user. See, now I have changed it to the demo user. This is how you're going to be changing and how you're going to be creating the user. Then what is the date command generally, and what is a cal command generally? See, date is a command which is used to display the system date and time, and like it is going to be displaying the following options also. Then now you can able to change the system date and time. So default date and time, how you can able to change. Then after that, cal is a command which is used to display the current month in current year. Then I want to display the complete year, cal space year, 2010, 2012, the complete year it is going to display. I want to display specific month in a specific year, cal space specific month and specific year. And cal space -3 to display the previous month, current month and next month. So let's see here those commands, right? So date, see, it is going to be displaying the system date and time here. Then next, see, it is going to be displaying the Saturday, something like that, man space date. So all these options, date means full date, then percentage means, A means it will display like this, Sunday, capital means full, small b means Jan 3 votes, and complete. Like all these options which we can able to work with date command. You just go to these options and you can write all those options. Then how to change the system date and time generally. System date. This is a command actually for changing the system date. So for changing the system date should be in a root user. Should be in a root user. Zero 06 sorry 25 and 06 and 2016, then time 20. See what happened. See, Saturday, Jan 15 and time. So in this fashion generally you can able to set the date and time. See, cal command just going to display the current month calendar. Cal space year 2012 to display the complete year calendar. Cal space 10th month and 2015. It will display the 10th month only. Cal space -3. It will display the previous month, current month and next month in the current year. This is about the cal command and date command and user related command and startup and shutdown commands and as well as the reboot commands. Then so I just explained about this archive or compressive commands. Then I will stop it here. See, what are the archive or compressive commands usually? There are following utilities here. We have to compress. In Windows, you have the zip or rar utility, right, for compressing the folders or files into some specific file. Here we have the tar and zar and zzip/gunzip zip/unzip. See, tar is a Linux utility which you can able to compress the files, and if you can able to compress the files, which can work only in a Linux environment, Unix or Linux environment. Then whatever you are able to compressing or creating the archives using the tar file. Same thing generally which you can able to do even using the jar file also. But it works only in Linux. It works in both Windows and Linux operating system. So what is the syntax for creating the archive file? Tar space hyphen cvf. C for create, V for purpose, F for file. Example sample.tar space sample file. This is how you are going to be creating the archive. Tar space hyphen xview space sample dot tar file for extracting. Then how to display without extracting? Hyphen tvf space sample dot tar. It is going to display inside what are the directories which contains, and T means table of content, here X for extract. This for creating, extracting, and without extracting which you can able to display. The syntax is quite same for jar also, but you can replace tar with jar. So what is the difference between the tar and jar? Tar which can work only in Linux operating system or Unix, but whereas the jar command which can work both in Windows and as well as the Linux operating system. Gzip and gunzip. Gzip and gunzip. So it is also Linux utility which works only in a Linux operating system. Gzip for zipping the files and gunzip for unzipping the files. Zip and unzip both are same only. You can replace gzip with zip, gunzip with unzip, but it works zip and unzip in both Windows and as well as the Linux operating system. So let's get back to the practical here. Linux right. See here tar space hyphen cvf. So example tab example dot tab. So what are the directories? WebLogic, MyDAR, SD file. So I am compressing more than one directory into the tab file, which is going to be compressed. See example tab tab space hyphen tvf example tab. Without extracting, so I will list table of content inside the tab file. And tab space hyphen xview space example tab. See, which is going to be extracted. So this is how you are going to be extracting tab, creating and list the table of content without extracting. Even jar also same, but you can replace tar syntax with zap. Gzip space new file dot zip space new file. See, which is going to be compressed. And gunzip space new file dot zip, which is going to be extracted. This is how you're going to be zipping and unzipping. Zip and unzip. So gzip and gunzip both are same, but zip and unzip which works in both Windows and Linux operating system, but whereas gzip and gunzip works in only the Linux operating system. So using these four commands, generally which you can able to compress the files in Linux environment. So this is about how you are going to be working with archive or compressive commands. I'm just stopping here. Tomorrow we'll see all the network related commands and process related commands. Then after performance related commands, including the shell scripting part. Then I will complete tomorrow Linux part. Then after that I will start the WebLogic setup. So I'm stopping here. Let me know if you have any doubts, please. Any doubts?